Right. Right. I just wanted to take the time to give a short tutorial to people beginning who might need a bit of a boost. So in this video, I'm going to be quick. I just want to show people how to create a vector. And with that vector, we're going to add the elements in the vector and we're going to search for an individual element in that vector. And then the last, we're going to change a single element in the vector just in case we need it. So, I want to start at the beginning. Okay, so we're going to, at least I like to create an array first before creating the vector. It is simple for me. So we're going to create the array. This is how you create an array, just in case anyone. This is the basis of an array. You just change whatever title you want to call this array. So my array is called numbers because they're numbers. And I'm going to add random numbers. Uh, make that 3, make that 5, make that 4. Okay, so that's my array. So the first thing we want to do is create the vector. Okay, and always make sure you include vector at the top. If you don't include the vectors, it's not going to work. So we're going to create a vector. We want an integer vector, and I'm going to name my vector just A. And I also want to, I need the size of my array. I need the size of my array. So integer, I'm going to call it number size. So we know what this is. We're going to go size of numbers. Sorry, size of numbers. We're going to divide it by the size of the elements of the numbers, the individual elements of the numbers. And that's just going to give us the exact size in our array by taking the total and dividing it by each individual element. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is add the array to the vector. So what we're doing is taking this array and we're adding it to this vector. Okay, for to I equals 0, Okay. So we have officially added each individual variable of numbers, and we put back the individual numbers to our array that I have called A. So now we can just work with the vector. We don't really have to work with the array anymore because we added the array to the vector. So now we want to add the elements in the vector. I try to choose things simple for beginners, but that will also be extremely useful as time goes by. So it's a vector, so we always have to use the loop to deal with it. So I'm just going to do the same setup. Let's J, let's see, size, J plus plus. Okay. So we want to add all of the elements in the vector. Remember, we put this array into the vector, so we want to add each individual element together. So first, we need to go to the top and make sure we have a variable that I'm just going to call it add one. Add one is equal to, I'm sorry, make sure you integer add one. This is the integer. This is just a control variable. So we're going to eventually add to it, but first we have to make it equal to 0. We have to make sure we identify it. So integer add 1 is equal to 0. Now let's come back down here, add elements, and now we're just going to add the elements. Add 1 plus equal all of the individual elements in here. And then we're going to print our vector after adding. So now we want to print the final. CD, out, add 1. And I'm just going to, after printing the total, I'm just going to print a line under it so it doesn't jumble together with forward slash. Okay, so just in case anyone wants to see that, see, syntax. My thing is covering up. I don't even know. And there we go. 20. If we add all these up, 9 plus 3 is 11. 12, 15, 17, 19, and 20. So there we have it. We just added up. So let's move on to the next part. Now we're going to search. We're going to search in our vector. We're going to find an individual element. Okay. So I'm going to add a current control. It's a control element. Control elements are extremely useful. They can be manipulated easily in a program. So we're going to use a control element and see, I'm going to remember we're searching for a single element. We're dealing with a vector. So we always have to use a loop and run the loop through each individual element. So now we want to search in our vector for a specific number. So I'm going to search for 5. No, we're going to search for 1 because there's multiple ones. We're going to search for 1 and we're going to tell how many ones are in our vector. So if we want to find 1, if A of J is each element. So if our element in a vector is equal to 1, we're going to use our control vector and add 1 to the control vector. So, and then we're going to print. And always make sure you print it outside the loop. When we print it inside the loop, and it's going to print how many times is in that loop. So let's print how many ones we have in our vector. Going to print count. Okay, well, let's check it. 4. So there we have it. Let's check. We counted our ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4. And that works for any element that we search for. So now let's change an element. Now let's change an element in our vector. Okay. Now we want to change it. So remember, we're dealing with a vector. So we always have to use the loop. So we do the same thing as the last time. So now we want to change the element. So which element do we want to change? Let's change number 3. Let's change number 3. So if our element in A is equal to 3, then that element is going to equal, let's say, 77. And this time we want to print the whole array. Since we want to print the whole array, we have to use a loop. We want to print each individual element of the whole array, so we have to loop through it. So for integer, make sure you're going to use a different, we use L, integer L. I don't want them to get mixed up. I use I and J already. So integer L is equal to 0. L, let's see, number size. Okay. And we're going to print each individual element. I'll print it like this first and then come back to it. So I want to show something. Make sure return is there. Okay, let's check. So this is our vector. Well, we did change on 77, but I wanted to show that it's jumbled together. So to fix this, we just want to add a space so people can read it. See? So here's our vector. So first we added everything, and then we found how many ones was in the vector. And this one we changed an element in the vector. It was originally 3. Okay. And what we could do if we wanted to was print the original before the one we changed. Um, I'm really just doing this to show everybody that we changed an element. Sorry. Let me add space in between. Sorry. Could be forward slash. So now we show our original, and this is where we change the 3 to 77. So that's it. I hope it helps you.